Major fire at the world's largest refinery, friends. It's in Germany. Things spontaneously combusting over the last week in Germany. It might have some political connections to what's going on in Eastern Europe. Yep. We have reports from you guys about discount stores going on empty, and we're getting a bunch of reports coming in from New England, especially regarding produce. And we have a report from you guys about peach pies being sold without peaches. Now, we know peach prices have gone up and supplies have gone down, but that's not how you make a peach pie, right? And everyone is just about trying to stay out of getting scammed or tricked whenever they go to the stores. These reports and more, let's jump right into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates. People just like you sending in reports from all over the world and across the United States, letting us know what's going on out there to keep us up to date. If you have something that you need to share with the rest of us, please just put down in a comment on this video or any video on this channel, and make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. Before we dive in, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts, like IRAs, 401ks, to switch over from stocks and bonds into gold, silver, or platinum. You can also purchase silver, platinum, gold from them directly. If you're just needing to purchase some or make larger purchases, they can talk with you about what would be a good fit for your strategy and give you some advice on that kind of stuff. They'd love to talk with you and give you information, and then you can make your own decision. There'll be a link at the end of the video for you to get some more information. There will also be a link at the end of the video to Poplar Bible studies. We are restarting the Bible study today. So 1 Timothy chapter 1, we're starting today in our other channel, Poplar Bible Studies. You can search for that or just follow the links over there. We're starting today. It's great entry for folks who have never studied the Bible before. If you're just curious about what it's all about, come on over. If you want to see more of me, you'll definitely see more of me over there. It's a little more relaxed over there. We kind of hang out a little bit. It takes about 25 minutes, and we do it on weekdays. So come on over and hang out with us and see if it's something you like. All right, Timbula Blade Works, which is from Australia, has news stories for us. A new one from explosions in Germany. Look up BASF hydrogen plant. Explosion headline. Leaked hydrogen catches fire at world's largest chemical complex in Germany. A hydrogen energy newsletter, sorry, can't post links. Another fire. By the way, if you guys are like, why do my things keep getting deleted, comments on videos? If you're putting links in there, YouTube automatically deletes them. We don't have any control over that, by the way. So you can type in search terms so that people can Google it themselves if it leads them in the right direction. So, but if you actually put a link, they can't do that. Okay, so and then they also mentioned the fire at Rheinmetall plant. That's a leading defense manufacturer. Neither story in the mainstream media. All right, so what's going on here? This is a hydrogen fire at BASF. That's the company name. Ludwigshafen plant, and this plant is like the size of a city. It's massive. It's the biggest chemical plant in the world. They manufacture everything there. If you have artificial flavors in your food, it may very well have come from this plant because it's just economies of scale. They can move chemicals through this thing like nobody's business. And so it produces a lot of artificial flavors. Most chemicals that are in all sorts of products come from a plant like this one. This is the biggest one in the world, and it produces some of the weirder concoctions out there. It's so massive that 1% of the electricity in Germany is consumed by this one plant. Now, what happened was a hydrogen leak caught fire, and the on-site fire brigade was able to contain it and then eventually get it extinguished. Now, like I said, this is a city. We're talking about tens of thousands of people work on site at this facility. It's massive. It literally takes up a footprint of like a city. So we also just covered last week, just a number of days ago, last weekend, Rheinmetall had their fire and it burned the plant to the ground. And that's where they're manufacturing anti-aircraft missiles. That was air-to-air missiles and surface-to-air missiles that are being sent to Eastern Europe. Spontaneously combusts, and the fire department couldn't really interfere with it because just too dangerous, and also just they weren't able to get it extinguished. So they let it burn out. Now we have a second fire here at the Ludwigshafen, which is connected to the Nord Stream pipeline. Yes, friends, that's exactly what it's connected to. The one that went kablooey, and everyone's like, who done it? Who done it? And of course, the United States is pointing fingers at the bad guys. And of course, bad guys are like, hey, you did this. You did this to Germany. You, the United States, your secret services, and the UK, and potentially even, I think it was, what was it, Norway was potentially involved in that too. So we know who did it, and Western allies did it in order to blame it on, because they didn't want Germany to be so dependent upon the bad guys' natural gas, right? And so we blew up their pipeline, and there really hasn't been major repercussions because of that. So now, because all the pressure that's being put on Bear Country over there, they are, I'm connecting dots here. Things are spontaneously combusting in the United States, UK, defense factories, right, and of artillery shells that we're sending over. And then the missile factory that's sending missiles over goes kablooey, and the chemical factory where a lot of the explosives and rocket engines and stuff like that are coming from goes kablooey. Like, connect the dots, right? Gina says Poplar, Georgia, near Savannah. Walmart, all ham, including lunch meat, very low. Produce, half empty. Most meat is low. Chocolate bar packs double in price. And now chocolate shortage out there is a real thing. We also have the vanilla shortage now, right? But chocolate is being impacted pretty heavily by that because people keep buying it, right? People are still buying the same amount of chocolate. They're just paying more money for it. And vitamin section, 2/3 empty. Frozen foods looking low. This area of the country is normally pretty well stocked, but today it was pretty shocking. But then they go on to share that Sam's Club wasn't as bad. So that's Georgia, near Savannah. Kim, and we were seeing the ham issue being an issue around the country as well. So that's noticeable to see down there too. Kim, update. My mom went to the Dollar Tree today. She came home empty-handed. All the shelves were empty. We're in La Puente, California. Certain things are getting much worse. Just to give you kind of an overview, guys, of what I'm kind of feeling out from what I've been seeing from comments recently over the past week, is we're seeing a lot of comments from the Northeast, so like New England states are a bunch of complaints, a bunch of problems up there. And then like California, Oregon, and Washington, we're seeing a lot of issues out that way too. So just to kind of give you a heads up, middle states seem to be doing fairly well comparatively, but those two sides of the country. Animals Magic Shop in South Coast, Massachusetts says, went to Dollar Tree yesterday to buy safety pins. And while there, I took a look at the food. Their section for actual food has shrunk to almost nothing. They no longer have any canned chicken, tuna fish, or even sardines. There were 4 cans of Campbell's okra soup, a small section of healthy choice soups, but none of them with any meat, and some cans of Green Giant beans, a couple of small bags of brown rice, and some boxes of almond milk. There were a few jars of spaghetti sauce, but no pasta, because that's helpful, right? There was no flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, cake, or muffin mixes, none of them, but some cupcake sprinkles. So how do you make the cupcakes? Who knows? But they do have the sprinkles. Tubes of frosting and food coloring. So there was also a full aisle of junk candy and brand drinks. So less real food and lots of junk food. And almost another full aisle of chips and unhealthy snacks. In the freezer was a few quarts of milk, popsicles, fish sticks, vegan burgers, and prepared snacks. The best thing I saw in the freezer were a few boxes of eggplant Parmesan and 4 containers of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, but those were $4 a piece. Now, of course, in Massachusetts, how can you go anywhere without seeing Ben & Jerry's, right? I backpacked through there when I was doing the Appalachian Trail, and there was Ben & Jerry's ice cream everywhere. And as a backpacker, that's one of your first things you go to because you just need those calories. That's why I always chuckle when people are like stocking up for the apocalypse, and they're like, "Don't put any junk food in there." It's like, dude, if you're working hard, you just need calories, and some of that junk food is actually going to be what you're going to want to eat. If you've seen what these guys do, long-distance backpacking do, what they eat, it's just absolute garbage, but your body just needs the calories. So it is what it is. I also went to Ocean State Job Lot, a small New England discount chain with food and home goods. They carry Bob's Red Mill baking products, but only had about 2/3 of what they usually stock. And the organic was gone. There was no canned meat except sardines. So this is a discount store, right? Small box of crab meat, but with sugar and other additives and some wild-caught salmon. So no other meat other than that in the whole store. Crazy. I usually get some cans of salmon, but all the meats were beyond their best buy dates except for the sardines. But much of the pasta was also beyond the best buy dates. Now, it doesn't mean you can't buy it, right? But, you know, me having something sit on my shelf past the best buy date is different than me purchasing something that's beyond the best buy date. They usually have a large selection of oils, but there was no coconut oil and no other oils except for avocado. It seems to be a thing lately that the discount stores around here, Dollar Tree, Walmart, Dollar General, Family Dollar, are keeping food on the shelves beyond their best buy dates without marking them down. Or manufacturers aren't putting a best buy date on the product at all. They are illegible. I used to like grocery shopping, but now it's a challenge just not to be tricked or scammed in some way. Anyone else feeling like that? You just like, I just don't want to get ripped off, right? It's like, I'm not even looking for a great deal. I just don't want to get ripped off. You've all been there, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to get this. And you pick it up from the shelf. You look down at the price and you're like, nope, we're just going to put that right back right there. Because that's not the price it was last week, right? That's not the price, that's not the price I'm used to. That's not a fair price. Granite Moss says, Southwest New Hampshire. No toilet paper or paper towels at Aldi today. We're hearing that Aldi's having issues with paper products. Just giant empty spaces. Walmart had some of both. I didn't notice how much, but enough I didn't warrant a closer look. One employee at the discount store was griping about how EBT, or food stamps, right, just hit for the month. Big crowds and sparse shelves for her to deal with. Now, of course, we keep pushing back on that one because they have spread out the food stamps across the entire month, supposedly. So you're not really supposed to be seeing that, but I don't know, maybe people are just, that's their habit, or maybe there are more people on the front of the month or whatever. Even Social Security comes in over the course of the month now, depending on, I believe, your Social Security number. So those things are supposed to be spread out. But anyway, so maybe there was an issue at Aldi, but as far as I saw, the food was decently stocked there. I would imagine if EBT was the cause of the paper products wipeout, many of the other holes in the stock would be visible. Very low sugar, just a few bags out on the shelf. Now, one thing I will throw out there, though, is that a lot of people still get paid twice a month. So a lot of people do get paid like on the last day of the month or like the first day of the month, and a lot of people do get paid halfway through the month. So personally, that's why I think we probably see more of an issue there, is that you have a large number of people actually getting forced to the middle of the month and to the beginning of the month. That's why you see those that kind of pickup in pace. That's my personal opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Ursa Major says, Wisconsin. The thing that I'm seeing is that everything is available, but the large quantity boxes, jars, and bags are not being stocked. For example, brown sugar now comes in a 1-pound box for the same price as the not available 2-pound bag. Another form of inflation. So smaller bags and everything like that. I know that if I say the words brown sugar, I'm going to get at least 5 comments from you guys telling me how it's not hard to make your own brown sugar, no matter how I mention it. So I welcome your comments on how making brown sugar is not very hard down the comment section. Anyway, Kevin says, was picking up a few preps at Walmart yesterday, was checking out and speaking to the cashier. Naturalized citizen, she was a naturalized citizen from Germany, said she would never go back even for a visit because of the situation there. Told me it was so bad her brother had to take out a second mortgage just for heating fuel. Customer behind me was listening and he said, I didn't vote for this either. She said it's the second time in her life that she has seen a country destroy itself. That's hard to hear, isn't it? I mean, just we know that's happening, but to just hear that from someone who's been through it already, to say we're following on the same path that Germany was on. We are, as Steve says, on the cusp of something our country has never seen before. I don't recall saying those exact words, but that sounds pretty catchy. So that's good. Yeah, we're going to somewhere new, something we haven't seen here before, and it's not good news. Di says, D-I, says, Sydney, Nebraska. Walmart pasta aisle used to be almost 3/4 full on one whole side. It is reduced to about 15 feet or so. Oh, and only 2 brands, Barilla and GV. No American Beauty or any of the other brands that they're used to. Ralph says, same bag salad you are seeing in Pittsburgh. I had the complaint about showing you how the bag salad, even at Sam's Club, and Sam's Club's been a lot better than Walmart and Aldi, but just brown on everything, and just like, it was just like all the salad they had out there was just bad. They're seeing the same salad condition in Lakewood, Colorado. I just bought apples and they were not crisp and fresh. They were I'll probably turn them into apple butter. When I watch your store updates, I get homesick. I am currently living in Colorado, like it. But grew up in Indiana, Blairsville area. Kimberly says, I bought a miniature peach pie in the frozen food section. The brand I bought was supposed to be a good brand, but because I have been hearing so much about the food shortages, I wondered how many peaches were actually in the little pie I just bought. So I cut it open, and before I ate it, and I found 6 tiny chunks. I don't mean 6 slices, I mean literally 6 tiny chunks. The pie was practically empty. I paid $3.97 for it. Not worth it. Fortunately, I had some canned peaches and was able to cook and add them to the pie. Yeah, at that point, you might as well just make your own pie, right? I mean, seriously. Thanks so much for your reports, guys, and checking in. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold Group, there's a link right here. I'm going to try to put a link to the Poplar Bible studies right here, but I think I have to put one video up here from my channel here. That's another video from Poplar Report. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.